A new Interior Department policy is rattling the renewable energy world. Critics warn it could deal a dire blow to wind and solar projects, while officials insist it merely restores fairness. On July 15, 2025, Interior issued a memo requiring that every permit, waiver, or decision for wind and solar projects on federal lands or waters receive the personal sign-off of Secretary Doug Burgum. In practice, the order piles on 3 additional layers of political review. Everything from large construction plans to routine wildlife surveys, 69 separate activities in all, now lands on the Secretary's desk. Paperwork might sound minor, but developers already spend years navigating environmental studies, public comment periods, and local consultations. Industry groups predict the new bottleneck will stretch timelines even further, threatening to stall or cancel projects outright. One executive likened it to red taping the industry to death. The ripple effects won't be limited to federal property. Projects on state and private land also need federal clearance for issues like endangered species protection and water crossings, so delays could spread nationwide. Interior defends the memo as an effort to level the playing field and end what it calls preferential treatment for unreliable, subsidy-dependent wind and solar. The change dovetails with President Trump's energy dominance agenda, which favors what the White House terms reliable baseload sources such as coal, natural gas, and nuclear power. Officials argue that centralizing approval will ensure thorough and deliberative reviews and reduce what they see as rushed green light decisions. Other moves are pushing in the same direction. A recent executive order and the One Big Beautiful Bill Act aim to dismantle what the administration brands the Green New Scam. Fee discounts for renewable projects on federal lands are being eliminated, and the law is already winding down key tax credits for wind and solar. Taken together, the measures amount to the stiffest federal headwinds the industry has faced in years. The American Clean Power Association called the memo bewildering, arguing that it undercuts the administration's own promise to lower energy prices. Timing is critical. Electricity demand is soaring, driven in large part by artificial intelligence data centers and other power-hungry technologies. Last year, wind and solar supplied 93% of all newly installed generation capacity, by far the fastest and cheapest way to meet rising demand. If growth stalls, analysts warn, utilities may have to turn to costlier sources, and consumers could feel the impact on their bills. There's also the matter of deadlines. To claim the final round of tax credits under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, projects must break ground by July 2026. Developers worry the added review layers will make that window impossible to hit, stripping away financial support just as capital costs rise. Supporters of the memo counter that the market has leaned too heavily on incentives and imported equipment and say the new scrutiny will favor technologies that can generate power around the clock. Opponents believe it's a calculated attempt to play favorites with fossil fuels and to kneecap renewables at a moment when the grid and the economy can least afford a slowdown. In short, Interior's directive inserts a powerful new gatekeeper into the renewable energy approval process. Whether it brings balance or bottlenecks, one thing is certain: the future pace of America's clean energy build-out now rests on a single signature.